Does anyone else remember learning about producers, consumers, and decomposers in elementary school? I was thinking back on this recently, and the reason I was thinking back on it is because I started making comparisons between, these three things in just nature and our, ecosystem on social media. And the reason that I'm saying that is because, all day, millions of us are consuming content by scrolling either on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, excuse me, Snapchat, Facebook, all sorts of different social media. Um, and then there's some of us who are producing. I'm not sure where decomposers will fit into this, but I guess decomposers can maybe be React channels. Like they've definitely put out stuff into our ecosystems, but they're not totally creating, their own sort of original content completely. But the reason I'm saying that is because I think, while we all do consume and then some of us produce in the form of putting out stuff on our personal social medias, I think the social media, I guess, landscape would benefit a lot by more of us coming out and becoming producers, producing more content. The reason I say that is because consumers, they are consuming what's on social media. They're consuming, what's in the environment. They're taking in the ideas or the entertainment from the people who are the producers, the people putting it out. And in turn, the producers, they have more influence on the social media landscape. They have influence on the thoughts that are going through people's heads, and they have influence on a lot of people's motivations. Like I've noticed that some stuff like self-improvement has become more popular within the past year or two, and that's because a lot of these figures have been popping up probably in response, well, been gaining traction probably in response to the events that have been happening in the past 2 years. But like these ideas have come to influence so many people on social media into acting in ways to like make their lives better, myself included, actually. And I think that's what inspired me to even like start putting videos out again. But I think being a producer will help. Well, in addition to being able to put out stuff of value, the content that you put out can have more of like a positive influence on the social media landscape. You'll be able to put out stuff that can motivate other people. Your personal story and information that you can provide, it can be the missing puzzle piece to someone else changing their life for the better. Like if you have your fitness routine or your diet routine on point, or if you know how to do your taxes correctly, if you know how to travel internationally and do all sorts of stuff, you could make some sort of channel or some sort of social media account and be able to change so many other people, more people than you could possibly even meet in a day, in a year, even in possibly in your lifetime if you get big enough, and you just don't realize it just because you haven't started being a producer. In addition, you can, depending on the type of content you put out, it can inspire emotions. Like some of them are positive, some of them are negative emotions, but I think it's something that is also valuable as well, because some positive emotions, or I guess positive reactions, like laughter, for example, I think some people need that after having a long day at work, or they might need it after just the craziness in their life. Happiness just from, I don't know, seeing some wholesome story or something, like when you're scrolling on Facebook and you see those stories like, oh, dog found its mother after 20 years or something like that. I mean, then there's like even some like negative stuff like anger. I mean, it's negative, but it can also inspire people to like act and inspire people to become to actually do things. Even like sometimes anger, like if you're like triggered by someone just, I don't know, calling you out, like saying like, oh, you're sitting there and not doing anything when you could be doing 20 push-ups right now, give me 20. Like, you know all of these things can be a call to action, or just some sort of emotional, it can make an emotional response that's very needed from the viewer. And then I guess on top of that, I guess creating is fun. Like I personally, I like creating because I like being able to bring what's in my inner world into the outer world. Like that's something that I've always thought about since I was younger. Not necessarily in always in an artistic form. Like I've always visualized myself being in certain sort of phases of my life, I guess. Like when I say that, what I mean is, so I envisioned myself back when I was in high school getting into really good shape, which I currently am right now. I also envisioned myself traveling around the world, which I mean I did. um, I've been to several countries. I don't remember the exact amount, maybe like 10 or 15. Still want to do more, of course. But and I of course have so many other visions of how I want my life to go, things I want to do, and I'm working towards doing all of that now. But you're able to bring your inner world in terms of like your emotion, in terms of your experience, everything like that into the outer, and you're able to change and shape the world through that, like positively or negatively. So make sure to work on yourself so it's not on the negative side. But I love this, even if I'm getting like one view. I'm always thankful for that one view, those two views. Maybe I'll get 10 views. We'll see. But yeah, that's why I think we should start being producers and consume less. I'll say that. Awesome.